Welcome. Now, I am your Polkadot Specialist, Var, and today we're going to be talking about ASTAR. Now, if you were able to catch my last amazing video, you would have heard me talk about my favorite Polkadot technology called ASTAR. Now, just to give you a slight recap in case you somehow missed that amazing video. We are going to do a quick recap of what I talked about before, and hopefully you can like and subscribe my video so that you won't miss any future content, or so that you could check in on me from time to time to see how we doing here. But I am your Polkadot Specialist. So just to recap what we talked about with ASTAR is a technology where people build applications. Now, if you could just envision a phone. So ASTAR is like a phone. It's not really a phone, but we're just using this as like a way to help you visualize what ASTAR actually is. So imagine your phone, and your phone has a whole bunch of different applications on it. Okay, and these different applications provide different services, or so it could be like finances, where you can lend or borrow. It could be such as a picture where you have different pictures that you purchase, or a marketplace like that. It can be things such as gaming, or all types of different tools that you can utilize. So these particular apps will be run by different developers, each one. So each one of those are not ASTAR, but they are, ASTAR is the platform in which people will make these applications that other people such as me and you can utilize. So that in itself is ASTAR. ASTAR is the place where people go to make apps and for other people to use these apps. Now, if you saw in the last video, if you could remember what we talked about, I had talked about one of the major features of ASTAR, because ASTAR is not the only place that people make applications. So in crypto, there's other places that have similar technology where they have a platform for building applications. Okay, now they also call them dApps. So when we get into it, if you hear me say dApp, it's the same as an app, but the only difference is a dApp is it's not run by a company. It's not run by one person or corporation. It's run by a network of people that are working together to kind of show the path forward for a particular project or technology using voting and different things. But we won't go too far in that because I have some other videos for you in the future. So if you hear me say dApp and app, essentially same thing as this: who is developing it, and the path forward is run by a network of people, and that's called a dApp. Okay, so there are other places that people can build these dApps. So one of the major places that people like to build dApps is Ethereum. You have Cardano that's coming. You have Moonbeam. You have a lot of different ones. You have Avalanche. You have different platforms that people can build applications. Now, what we talked about in the last video is that ASTAR is different. It's built differently. Now, the reason why it's built differently is because it's first of all on Polkadot, okay, which we talked about. But the biggest feature that we said, the number one thing that separates it from other layer ones or other platforms that people can build applications, is it pays people to build. So that's what we're going to talk about, this paying system called staking. Now, the difference is not only does it pay me and you, but it also pays the developers building. And that's what separates the staking called dApp staking. That's what separates it from all the other places that people can build, is this dApp staking feature. Now, the great thing is we just caught it on time, because now there is a new version of this dApp staking, which is an exclusive feature to ASTAR. No other blockchain, no other place, no other platform that people build have dApp staking. That's what differentiates it from other layer ones, other places that people can build these applications. So we're going to go into dApp staking, and now they have just launched version 3. Okay, so what dApp staking is, and we're going to go in here, and if you can see, so dApp staking overview. So dApp staking is an ASTAR's unique mechanism to financially incentivize developers. Okay, so essentially, when we are supporting an application on ASTAR, so say for instance you have a favorite application. Let's just say it's an application that has your favorite pictures, and you buy some coins. Now ASTAR's coin is called ASTR, short for ASTAR. So if you go and buy that from Binance, or if you go and swap that off of varhdx, which is something we're going to get into in the future, because that's one of my other favorite projects on Polkadot. But if you go and you purchase ASTAR, what you can do with that particular coin is you can get interest on your money by supporting your favorite application. So whatever your favorite application is, you would put your coins there. Now you do have to have a minimum of 500. Okay, so that's roughly under $100 worth of ASTAR, because ASTAR is about 17 cents, so that's about $85 roughly. So, so long as you have 500 ASTAR, you can go and support your favorite application. And by doing so, now on this new one, it used to be called staking. Now it's called voting. So you're going to vote for your favorite projects on ASTAR. And when you do that, you put your funds on that application, showing that you are supporting it. And by doing that, you get rewards. But not only do you get rewards, based on the popularity, this new version 3 has a tiering system where the developers will get rewards based on your support. Now, they do have to hit a threshold before they start getting paid. Now, that's one of the major differences between the old system and the new system, is they made it more things that you have to be a little more involved, and the popularity for the different applications. Now there's like a minimum amount. So they have to have a certain amount of popularity to start getting paid. So we're going to kind of go into some more features of dApp staking. So when we talk about dApp staking, as it talks about here, it's a way that developers get compensation based on popularity. They also, because they're getting rewards, it allows them to be able to pay for transactions that might happen. So normally developers have different costs in which they have to develop. One of these costs is to transfer money around. In crypto, you have to pay for these transactions, small amounts. But because they're getting paid, now they call this payment basic income. So one major difference is other places that have other places can pay developers, but what they normally do is they give them a grant. So a grant is like, I'll give you $10,000 to build here. Now, ASTAR has its own funds. Polkadot also has its own funds to pay for people to come to their network or come to their place that you can develop. So ASTAR also has grants, but today we're not talking about grants. So that's the biggest thing. So it's not, hey, I got a project, can you help me out? And they give you a grant to help you. This is actually a payment that you're given over time as basic income. And so that's the big difference. It's in addition to grants or anything like that. So as we keep going down, so the builders earn rewards. So one of the major differences that I want to talk about is between version 2 and now we're on 3. So in the past, you could just pretty much vote for your favorite project or stake towards your favorite project and just forget about it. But now in this new system, you have to be more involved. So not to get too complicated, this is called a white paper that I'm actually on. Now the white paper is kind of a developmental paper that kind of outlines the different features and the benefits that are being developed on a particular technology. So we are actually on a white paper document by ASTAR that kind of has the breakdown of what these particular functions are. So I know this might look a little difficult to understand, so I'm gonna try to simplify it, okay? So without making it ridiculously complicated, okay? We're gonna break this down. Okay, so essentially, when you are supporting your favorite project, okay? When you're supporting your favorite project, you have an 11-day period, roughly. This is estimates, estimates. You have about an 11-day period where you get additional benefits or rewards for voting towards your favorite project. It's an 11-day window. And then after that 11-day window, then there's going to be additional period. This full period is going to be 4 months, where you are essentially, to get your awards, locking your coin. So you can't transfer them, or you can't move them, or you can't decrease them or anything like that. You are locking your awards for 4 months. And by doing this, you are given interest payments. Now, why would they do this? Why would you lock your funds? Now, you can actually technically move them, but you'll lose all of your rewards that you would have accumulated over that period. But they're doing this as a way to help the value of the coin. So by you locking the coins, that means less supply. If you have the same demand or more demand, the value of the actual coin or the asset will go up over time. So it's an actual way to try to help the overall system that they're building that utilizes a coin. Okay. So the biggest difference now from version 2 to now version 3 is before you could pretty much put your coins towards the network or the project that you like and forget about it. But now you actually have to vote for your favorite project every 4 months. Okay. Every 4 months. So that's the period. Now you can remove your coins, like I was saying, and this here is talking about that period is about 9 days to remove your coins and to send them elsewhere. So that's where it talks about this 9-day period here. That's the unlocking. So you can move them. You'll lose your rewards that you've accumulated, but you can move them if you need to. It just takes approximately 9 days. And this is where it talks about that minimum amount of ASTAR to participate in getting the interest. Okay, so that's the main thing that I want to talk about for this particular section of the V3 dApp staking. Now, they have some other things too in terms of the tiering system. So the tiering system is your favorite project is given rewards based on popularity, and that is broken down into different tiers based on how many coins they have supporting their project or voting towards their project, their project or their particular product that they're offering. So that's that part. So one thing I wanted to also touch on is I was going to go into the actual into ASTAR. So when you first go into ASTAR, it's going to look like this. Okay, so just to kind of give you a quick breakdown. So, and I'll do some future videos on wallets and how to get started for all the people that are new to crypto. I plan on having a few how-to videos, but there are a number of them out there. So for me, I really wanted to cover some different things that aren't necessarily being talked about in the community that people might want information on. So that's why I'm kind of doing this type of video, but in the future, because I know a lot of different people that might be just getting into crypto and they might want to know stuff solely about that special project, technology and project, and that's going on called Polkadot. And if you want to know about that, I am that specialist, right? So I am going to try to do how-to videos solely on Polkadot, but not all of crypto. I'm going to focus on Polkadot, ASTAR, varhdx, and all these other different projects out there that we will talk about. So this here is what ASTAR would look like. So you would essentially buy some coins, put them in a wallet. That wallet would connect right about here. You would put your wallet here. This is a dummy account, so I don't have any money on this one. But so this is showing the different assets you have. This will tell you how much ASTAR you have available, and it'll tell you how many that you're using to put towards your project. Okay. Now, as you go down, it'll tell you more and more assets you can put on here, but we're not going to talk about that. Only thing that matters right now is ASTAR, because that's the main cryptocurrency and assets that you'll be using on this particular website and network. So from here, you'll see your balance, and then you'll go to dApp staking. Now, we go to dApp staking. This is a new feature here. It's going to tell you how long you have to be in that bonus period. So this here is saying vote now. You have 5 days, 10 hours, and 28 minutes. And this is a countdown. And this is to get this 7%, 7.5% bonus for coming early. So within that 11-day period, we only have 5 days left to get this special bonus of 7.5%. Now, right now, we have a phenomenal interest rate of 19.34% returns for participating. Now, will this always be this high? I'm not sure. This is V3, so this is new grounds. But in the past, this particular, now this is the amount that you would get over the 4-month period. So the 11 days, you only get the bonus. After the 11 days, the rest of that 4-month period, you would get this basic reward here for doing this particular dApp staking and voting towards your favorite project. Now, in the past on V2, it was about 10 to 11%. They are projecting long term for this to actually come down possibly to 5%. But right now, for being an early adopter and for participating early, they're enticing you by having even more interest because there's not as many people that recognize that there's a new version of ASTAR. But because you're watching this video with your specialist, I got you covered. So you got 19% now. If you were to stake, is what it's showing as the projection, and 7%, like I said, for that early bird window for coming in and staking. Now, we're voting. So as we go down, this is going to tell you the major projects listed by the amount of ASTAR, the coin for ASTAR, that people are being voted on. So at the bottom here, it's going to let you kind of scroll through all the different ones. There's 65 applications, and we're just getting started. All right. And then if you keep going down, it'll show you like descriptions and different categories. So you have decentralized finance. So this is where we're talking about your different lending and borrowing. You got NFTs, which is, predominantly like pictures or different things like that on the blockchain or in Polkadot. You also have tooling. This is like development tools. You have utility, and you have other things as well. So there's all these different categories. Now, my favorite project, my favorite product, my favorite app, dApp, whatever you want to call it, is ASTAR DEGENS. So we're going to visit here. I am going to do a dedicated video to ASTAR DEGENS. Just to give you a quick recap of what it is it is a network of people represented by pictures, NFTs. Now, normally you would just have pictures and you just hope that this picture, kind of like a Bored Ape or something like that, or some type of special picture, and it just appreciates over time, and it don't do nothing. But with ASTAR DEGENS, these pictures also represent you being part of a venture capitalist group that helps all these different developers, the best ones for ASTAR, help them get started and help them prosper within Polkadot on ASTAR. So that's one of the great things I like about it. It is about a lot of different minds coming together and be able to help different projects get off the feet, and they are rewarded. In addition to the staking and all the different things and the dApp staking, they are rewarded by rewards. So whatever this group ends up earning, or have revenues coming in, they actually divide that. 50% of that at the moment, 50% of that is going to the people that hold the pictures. So there's a lot of utility and a lot of uses. I'm not going to go too much further into that, but pretty much because our particular NFTs, and I'm saying our because I am invested, baby, in ASTAR. I am invested in ASTAR DEGENS. These are my projects. All right. So I'm just kind of explaining to you why I like them so much. But with ASTAR DEGENS, not only do they get ASTAR as benefits, but they also get different coins and benefits for the particular projects and products that they help get launched. And they pay all the people that have these different pictures. But this is for another day. I am your Polkadot Specialist, Var, and we will talk about ASTAR DEGENS. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek at these NFTs. This is their website here, which shows you ASTAR DEGENS. And if you go all the way down, you can get a little picture of, get a peek of what some of these NFTs look like. Now keep in mind, they also have utility. So here's this little sneak peek, but we're going to go a deep dive into that. But that is for another time. Specialist out. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me.